Welcome back everyone to another expansion team episode. 2 weeks ago we had the draft, the real 2023 NFL draft with some very good players. We drafted Will Anderson in the first round. We also drafted our hopefully new superstar running back Bijan Robinson, who can do it all. And we drafted some interesting other players like Jordan Addison, our new wide receiver, who could have more speed maybe, but still could be a good player for us. And we also drafted some award-winning tight ends. So let's see if they can contribute to this season. But we still have another 30 million to spend. Most likely won't spend it all, but we have still a few holes on the team. I would like to get better on defense. And for that, I'm targeting another linebacker in Trey Flowers, a couple of cornerbacks, free safeties. We still need a second player there after trading away Marcus Epps. A kicker, so I made offers for actually 4 players. Think these offers are actually way too long term. If I'm not mistaken, for the 2023 game, they adjusted that a little bit so that players won't sign 7-year contracts or something like that anymore. I think that actually makes sense because rotational players rather want to have short-term contracts and get back on the market. Randall Cobb for 1 year could be a cool rental, but other than that, let's see who signs with us. We definitely need a kicker after what our kicker did last season. And we're getting no one, I assume. Oh, down here we have to check. And we have one kicker, actually the best one on the market. Richard Holmes is earning over 2 million per year, but great kick accuracy, good kick distance, and that should be good for the next 5 years. So special team is fixed just by that. And Trey Flowers for 1 year. That's really cool after trading away our superstar linebacker to trade up for Bijan Robinson. But Trey Flowers, good tackling with his 30 years, decent work ethic and competitiveness, could be good for our team. Didn't see the team player rating. That's of course worrisome, but we have a new addition to the team. I'm actually not planning on signing Jadeveon Clowney after drafting Will Anderson. And we also don't need a second kicker, so we can delete these offers. We also need a center and another defensive tackle, but we can do that after free agency is over. These players are actually our priority, and let's sim the day. Looks like we have another free safety, Brandon Harris, undrafted free agent, good personality overall. He will be on the team for the next 3 years, could be a decent backup. We only have nearly 13 million left in cap room, so actually not much more space to bring in new players, but another cornerback would be nice. Let's see if someone signs. Week 8, Michael Gore, that's a wide receiver I had in mind from Florida, an international, undrafted, 99 work ethic, pretty good, and also 90 hands. So he's a very interesting player. Let's see if we can develop him and maybe give him some snaps. But with that, we're now pretty tight on salary. Only offer out there is Mike Hughes. He's an 89 overall, so would be nice to sign him, of course, for 4 years. That would really beef up our already strong secondary. Let's see if he signs. Not yet. Final round of free agency. And he signs. He is part of the Munich Wolverines. 4 years, pretty heavy contract. I forgot to change that. So we are over the cap and need to find solutions. But our team is really, really strong right now. Let's sign another center, and we also need a defensive tackle. Not many good ones available. Let's sign Jordan Phillips to the roster and figure out how we can free up 10 million in cap space. So I traded away a running back, a tackle, and a linebacker for a 7th round pick just to not need to release them and take on their cap hit. And I signed another linebacker, so we have enough players there. And now we're barely under the cap with a really great team. I'm really happy what we're having so far after the draft and after the free agency. The offense honestly looks not too different. So mainly the same players. We added Jordan Addison, we added Michael Core, who has a more central role in the second package. And of course, we added Bijan Robinson and backup tight ends. But if we're looking to the second package, Michael Gore and Jordan Addison with more central roles. We don't forgot William Childs. He's also on the offense. So we have different kinds of wide receivers, different strengths, but all focus on really good hands, which should be good for our offense, what our head coach actually wants to do. Of course, not sure if this is also what Desmond Ridder is able to do. He has a good arm, so he maybe needs better speed and not the best intelligence. Let's see how he performs in year 2 after winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. But quarterback's still a position we could target next season. Let's see how Desmond Ridder performs. And we also have a second option now this year, but he's also more mobile than accurate. The biggest difference is on defense. We added Fletcher Cox in the first round of free agency. We added Jordan Phillips after free agency. And of course, drafted Will Anderson, who can hopefully develop into a star here and not be a bust. Our linebacker core looks slightly different, but with some key players still around and really good backups. Cornerback, we added Mike Hughes, who had 6 interceptions last year. So now this secondary is elite and honestly the best secondary I've ever had here. No player is under 80. Our worst player here is our 4th cornerback with 81 overall. But for those 3 cornerbacks and the safeties, 88, 89, 89, and 89, that's so good. Also, second package, some rotation. Will Anderson has not the best endurance, so we need to sub him out for 1/3 or 1/4 of the plays that he's ready to perform on the rest of it. Special team also looks different. We added Jack Fox in free agency and Richard Holmes as an undrafted kicking free agency. And we know that the best kickers are undrafted. Not necessarily, but Justin Tucker was. So Richard Holmes hopefully stepping up to have a better kick accuracy than you would had last season. But pretty good team, I would say. Training camp, and let's first take a look here at the training camp losses. Cameron Hayward drops from a 91 to an 89 overall. Of course, he's 34 years old, could be his final season. Same for Fletcher Cox, only an 84 right now, so he actually dropped 3 points. Let's hope that he can still be a force for us. And also on the O-line, David Andrews, not a 99 or 100 overall anymore. Can't remember, but 97 should be still pretty good. But let's take a look at those gains. William Childs, 20 gain. He's now at a 78 overall. That's pretty good. Only 21 years old. We remember that we added him last year before everything started. So he's a really good addition. Still very expensive, but right now 78 overall. Worth the money. And also Aaron Bowie, +3 overall, if I remember correctly. Good to see also some starters make an impact. Bobby Okereke, our punter. But sad to see that only Grayson McCall is here for quarterback. So no Desmond Ridder. Let's see how he performs this season. The journalists actually project us to win the AFC South, so hopefully they're right this year. Taking a look at the season preview, they expect us to be pretty good. Still an elite O-line. Defense a little bit better, but ranked 3rd on the offense, 6th on defense. Let's hope that we can get this team record up. But before we're starting into the preseason, I want to do scouting a little bit different this time. I want to scout the college game in season. So every now and then we're taking a look at the college, and now it's time for a little season preview for the college. The new college season starts with new recruits. Top recruit is James Story, tackle. He plays for Nebraska, 87 overall, really good in pass blocking, awesome work ethic. So #1 player of this class. A tackle, really good cornerback here, 94 overall. Drew Banks, not the best personality here, but 90 speed, 90 agility. He's really a threat. Who's also able to play safety. Let's look at some other notable recruits. The best defensive tackle here from Alabama, Walter Newman. And other than that, Julio Jones as a fake on safety. Not sure. Julio Jones, the best free safety here in the country. But let's look, it's mainly defensive players and O-liners. Jonathan MADDOX, best guard, who's now blocking for Quinn Ewers for Texas. And the best quarterback seems to be Paul Nettles, who is going to be the next Cincinnati Bearcats quarterback. Not sure if this is a good sign looking at Desmond Ridder, but he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And here Paul Nettles, outstanding intelligence. But yeah, of course, these players are draft eligible in at least 3 years. Let's see if there are other really good players. Steven Silva, new quarterback for Oregon. And the rest, here's the 93 player, another Texas player, Roger Hyde, strong safety. Are there any other 90s? I'm not sure, but at least we saw some cool, interesting players. These will, of course, be scout relevant in 3 or 4 years. So let's look at some key players. Of course, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison, Caleb Williams. 3 of the most interesting players. J.J. McCarthy, actually the second best quarterback here. I know that there are many wide receivers. As said, this is due to the translation from the college to the pro football game. That's why wide receivers are really good here, that they can be also decent enough in the draft. But let's go per position and start with quarterback. I'm highlighting some players like Caleb Williams. He's the best quarterback here in the class, and he will declare. As said, don't really care about the experience here. I tweaked it a little bit, so Caleb Williams will declare in next year's draft. 98 overall, decently well-rounded, I would say. Good player. Another interesting player, not necessarily for this draft, could also be the case that he declares next year, is J.J. McCarthy. 96 overall, really fast and really agile, good arm and decent enough intelligence and accuracy. He's really good and should be top quarterback in one of the next couple of drafts. And we also have Anthony Richardson. In reality, he also declared for the 2023 NFL draft. Here he will be in the 2024 NFL draft. And he looks fun. 98 arm, 90 speed, 90 agility. Not necessarily good for our scheme. I would say we rather need someone with really high intelligence. But could be interesting. Also, DJ Uyangalele will declare good arm, and other than that, also similar to the other quarterbacks we saw. But who is the most intelligent quarterback right now? Oh wow, lots of new players here, but it's actually Caleb Williams. So with his intelligence, he could be a target depending on where we're drafting. The season is about to start. I hope that we don't have the first overall pick, but rather a playoff run. But if we do, Caleb Williams could be a good target. I won't go through every position that detailed. I skipped running back, but one player to mention is Emil Ekiyor from Alabama, 90 overall. Olu Fashanu already said that he's going to be back at Penn State. Could have been a really, really good player in this year's draft. In reality, of course. Here, he is also part of the 2024 draft, and he's really good. Really strong, really good in pass and run blocking. At least here in the game, could be a target. Same for Broderick Jones. He's also going to be in next year's draft, so by far those are the best two tackles. I, of course, need to highlight tight end. Brock Bowers, 100 overall. He will also be, or will he? He's actually, could be a target for next year's draft. I won't change that. Could also be in the year after that, but he's really good. I don't need to say that. We also saw him in the last college scouting episode for last season. This is the first time where he's actually draft eligible. So let's see if he's going to declare. Wide receiver, let me highlight Marvin Harrison Jr. Played a really good year in reality, and also here in the game. He's good. He should be a locked first rounder. Last year he had 18 touchdowns, nearly 1,500 receiving yards. So really great year, but also not sure if he's going to declare for this draft. Could also be that he's going back to college. Let's see. Defensively, not really sure who I should highlight here. Dante Kent and Cam Hart are the best two cornerbacks, and actually, yeah, the best defensive players are dominated by corners. Again, this is translation to the pro football game. I tested it many of times, and these are the best settings in my opinion. And Noah Sewell, interesting that he did not declare for last year's draft, will be in this one. Could be a good linebacker option. I think we're pretty fine at linebacker, but who knows if he's a second round pick or something like that. But yeah, you can see the best players are actually freshman players. I think that's fine. It's more fun to draft offensive players either way. But yeah, let's see how this draft will shape out and how the season will be. That's it for the preview of the college season. Let's check back in during the season. So let's go through preseason. We're playing against the Cleveland Browns in our first preseason week, and we win. Great game by Grayson McCall, or actually decent game, let's put it like that. And Bijan Robinson with his first touchdown. So our rookies get some touches and get the first snaps of the year. Preseason week 2, we have a bye week, I assume. Okay, let's go to preseason week 3, which is another bye week. No, whoa, we crushed the Las Vegas Raiders. 45 points, and all of our quarterbacks got snaps. Nice to see, with actually really good completion percentage. So that's really nice. Also, again, our new additions perform. Jordan Addison with a touchdown, Bijan Robinson with a rushing and with a receiving touchdown. Hopefully he can continue that in a season, and Marcus Peters just destroys here on defense. Really good game for him with 3 passes deflected and 1 interception. Also new addition Trey Flowers. But preseason does not matter too much. Let's hope that no one gets injured and that our backups can see some snaps. And we played the Denver Broncos here with another win. Preseason does not matter, but still nice to see our newly added backup quarterback to perform quite all right. Also AJ Dillon with a touchdown, and the rest gets ready for the season. Good to see that no one's really injured and we are ready to take on the Commanders in week 1. This is our game plan, so we have a lot of games in the beginning and our 2 bye weeks at the end of the year. So this is pretty crucial. If we get into the playoffs, we have some rest before that, but we need to stay away from injuries early in the season because our bye weeks are very, very late. Impressive 3 preseason games. Let's hope we can build up on that and have a great season. So make sure you subscribe. I would really appreciate that. It's always lots of work to create these episodes, but really fun to do that. Thanks for your support and hopefully see you next week for the first games of the season and another college update. Bye bye.